I call Shu right away. I said, what the fuck did you just text me? She gonna go, no, I don't understand. The 75,000, the bank ain't giving that to me.
Oh,
I
you
paused, and
you
I
were
think I
like,
think I
"What
hit
the
the I think I had called you, and then I hit the FaceTime because I needed to see your face at this point.
f-"
Oh,
I'm
you s-
blind. I have
staring. Even with the glasses, you blind?
these are not prescription. They're just for looks.
Oh.
Just
All right, let's talk about why these topics keep coming up, man. Everywhere you look, social media, podcasts, TikToks, everybody's talking about generational wealth. But the
yes.
way it's being talked about, it's oversimplified. It's
Mm,
glamorized, and honestly, it's truly incomplete.
mm,
Some people think generational wealth means big house.
yeah.
Okay, cool. I have that. I don't think I'm at generational wealth. A trust fund.
Trust fund
Okay,
babies.
cool. Caden is a trust fund baby. I don't think we're there yet. A
Mhm.
flashy lifestyle. We just said a couple things that's already been checked off, and I'm still chasing after more, and I
Yeah.
don't feel as though that's generational wealth.
Mm.
But in real families, especially families like ours, it looks very different.
Right.
I even talk about it on my shows. It's about how you define it, right?
Right.
What you define to be generational wealth will be your generational wealth. And today's conversation is not about flexing. It's more so about building and protecting and passing something down intentionally, right?
Right.
Like I say when I'm talking about on Dear Legacy, it's not what you leave behind, it's how you're living it currently.
Mm.
This is Roots to Realities. Let's jump into this conversation. It's your boy Kevin B. the Brand alongside.
Your girl Shoe the Vibe Enhancer. See, I finally nailed it down. I'm not gonna lie to you. When you just jumped in, uh, why do you have to?
That's how long it took.
But we're not gonna count. I'm not gonna lie. As you just started talking, I'm like, oh, so we're not gonna welcome. I was like, that's so un Haitian of you to just start talking about Salve Munyo,
Le Munyo.
Batiko, welcome to Roostery.
Hello, good morning. But
Oh,
you was feeling it though. You was
I,
over there. Mhm.
I said, oh
Oh my
yeah, yeah.
goodness.
Well, I'm gonna tell you why, because not for nothing, I'm not ashamed to admit this. I just started hearing about generational wealth in my big old age of late 30s. I had no idea. I was one of the people who thought generational wealth was house, was money, was, you know, financial. Like it had a it was a monetary concept to me. Uh,
So in essence, there is a monetary concept behind the overall thing. Let's look it up here right quick. While I'm looking this up, what do you think it means to you?
Now or what?
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm
Both,
aware of,
both.
to me, it's more so knowledge and access and, you know, health. Like, I know it's a very cliche line, health is wealth, but it really is. So with us, Renard and I, we're making sure that we are giving our children access to things we didn't necessarily have or prioritize or weren't prioritized as kids. Fitness was not prioritized. I've never seen any of the Haitians in my house do anything besides walk, if
You
they
ever
even
you ever
walk.
been inside the gym and watching the Haitians work out?
Yo, with their sapatos,
It's the
with their
funniest
sapatos or their
stuff
work
you've
clothes,
ever seen,
like they
boy.
literally are just on break and they just decided to go
They're
to
just sitting there chit chatting, and I'm like, bro, can I hop right in between here? No?
or
Okay, cool,
they're
cool,
just
cool.
on a treadmill. They're literally just on the
Yeah,
treadmill or the
yeah.
bike or the bike. That's it. You don't got
So
no else medium.
by
It's
definition,
heads. Oh, go ahead.
it says generational wealth is the accumulation of financial assets,
Uh-huh.
knowledge, and value passed down through generations to provide lasting financial security and opportunities,
Okay.
including assets like real estate, business, stocks, cash, plus intangible assets like financial literacy and
Mm,
strong money habits. It's about creating a financial foundation that benefits descendants, helping them achieve economic mobility and avoid starting from scratch.
And
Honestly, that's the best definition I've ever seen.
well, I was gonna say for us simple people, let's break that down to regular language because
S-
you you threw a lot of
so
FAQ words in
it kind of said what we was talking about.
here.
It's the accumulation of financial assets. But the part that people always gloss over, it's the knowledge and the
Yeah,
values, right?
yeah,
You could get, like I said earlier, it's not bragging or boasting. Big house, check. Luxury lifestyle, check.
yeah,
Trust fund, check. We have all that.
right,
But putting that in place and not teaching the next generation how to maintain it,
right.
how to the value of the actual dollar. It literally says that right after the financial assets, the next key thing is knowledge and values passed down through generations
Yeah.
to provide lasting financial security and opportunities. Nowhere does it say anything about the biggest house. Nowhere does it say
Nope.
about the trust funds. All that is part of the stuff that you accumulate.
Yeah.
But to really build generational, that's the part that
How do
people
you
don't
keep
realize. We love saying the words
yeah.
generational wealth, generational wealth, generational wealth, but generational wealth is
That means they
multiple.
gotta keep going,
It
guys, you
has
know?
to keep going.
And we
Like,
have to leave the instructions or actually teach them the next generation. That's how like it's not like a, "Here you go, figure it out." No, like,
you
you
know,
gotta give
eh,
them the tools.
I'm looking at the notes right here that we have or whatever. It says, let's go beyond the dollar signs.
Yeah.
Generational wealth isn't just money. It's access, knowledge, stability, and options.
Yeah. Yeah. The options.
Access, knowledge, stability, and options. The reason why we don't have a blueprint and we're creating it right now is because we did not have the access. We
Yep.
did not have the knowledge. It
Yep.
took our big ass ages of 30 plus before we start even hearing
Yeah.
about certain things.
Yeah.
And then once we started learning about it, we adjusted our lives, things started to change.
Yeah.
Now, it is our duty to
Mhm.
really build that generational wealth. It's not about what we're leaving behind, it's about how we're living it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the knowledge part.
And I'll hop in and even in regards to, like housing, real estate. You know, the my residential property where we live, um, that I was lucky enough to have that passed down to me, and I remember telling you that or it was either you or Charlene's husband when he was talking about how I got my house, and I was like, "Well, my aunt, like, pretty much was she got to the point where her owning a house was messing up with her Social Security, so somebody was just like, "Yo, you gotta if you wanna be able to get your Social Security, you can't necessarily have a house in your name at 8 something years" well, no, at the time, I think she was in her 6 this was 2014, so
Isn't that crazy and wild though, not to cut you off? In order to get what you earned by working
you
your
yeah, old
whole big old ass off for, you have to get rid of the assets
Yep,
that they told you. Get
yep,
your piece of the American pie.
yep,
Work hard, get your piece, and then live the dream.
yeah.
But in order for me to live the dream, I gotta get rid of the
I gotta
piece that
get
you
rid
told
of
me to
what I
go
worked
get.
hard to get that you told me was the dream. No, and then
That's
it
that's crazy.
so she, passed the house down to me, and when I sit back and think about it, and this is not me throwing any of my family under the bus, but I'm the only one yeah, I'm the only one in our generation that actually kept the house we grew up in. Like, I
I
I
just had to.
when I think about I have a uncle who lived down the street, he lived on Wood Ave. He passed, his kids flipped it, sold it, gone. And I have another uncle who had lived in Stoughton. Same thing. The house is now owned by someone else. Like, it's crazy because people. Another cousin was looking into him a couple years ago, and he was like, "Oh, where you living now?" And I was like, "I'm still at the house." And he was like, "Oh, y'all will never leave." Pause your life, because I did leave. For anybody, FYI, because Imma set the record straight. I did leave at one point. I had my own apartment. I left, had my own apartment, but it started getting to the point where that was right at the beginning of my mother's health declining, and I found it funny. I told you I grew up in a house full of old Haitian women. So you got these 3 old women living in this house calling me for every télévision pas travail, ma four pas allumé, ma comprendre qui ça. So I was coming over here like on a daily basis. I was like, bro, like y'all know y'all got other people, other younger generation people that y'all can call, but I was the go-to person. And then when my mom's health started to decline, I was like, bro, I gotta move back home because I was the one taking care of her. So I moved back home. And then that's when the whole situation with my aunt, needed to transfer the house. Not only did she transfer the house, she transferred so the house is so these bills.
They're yours now too, partner.
Plus I owe too. So for anybody who think I'm just living in my aunt's house, sitting, living a dream, no, no. When she said you own the house, she meant you own the house. And then, thanks to you, we now own the house next door. And I remember when we were doing the closing, and I forgot what the conversation started with. And I was like, oh, no, no. I'm putting a clause in here. None of my children are allowed to sell either one of these houses. You can move out and rent, but you are not allowed to sell the house because of generational wealth. I feel like I am what your face is throwing me.
I'm listening. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. I'm trying to make sure we don't got echoes going on because I listened to that last episode. It was crazy. It sounded crazy. I'm sorry.
And the next one's gonna be the same. I'm sorry. I tried to work as hard, but um, I I love the fact that we are emphasizing that we're not boasting, we're not trying to flex, but at the same time, I think it is important to acknowledge and still pat myself on the back for being probably the only person in my family, immediate family, to be passing on the generational wealth, if
Yeah.
that makes sense. So
No, it does. Because there's a thing about inherited wealth and intentional wealth building, right?
yes.
The inherited part is just shit that's handed to you. But
Yes.
handing something to somebody and not educating them is what's the point?
Yeah.
Because they didn't build it. They don't know the purpose behind it. They don't know what they just grabbed. They just know that they have a piece of property that when shit hits the fan, I could sell and make money.
Yeah.
And even if shit didn't hit the fan, they could still sell and make money.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what ends up happening. Like I just saw a commercial the other day where this woman was looking at a storage, like this lady is with her daughter and she's like, "Oh, all of this is going to come to you when I die." And the daughter's like, "Gee, thanks." Because where that used to where we used to be like, "Oh, word, I'm about to get this." I think our generation is now looking at it as this is not that great of a situation that you're giving me. Like when someone dies and leaves you a house, like it's not as amazing as you think. No, no, no. There are lots of things.
But inside of some LLC, some trust, or some type of
Yeah, like
situation like that, it's like you're giving me a bill.
yeah, a whole, and it ain't even no regular bill. Like you giving me a 6-figure bill, like that I have to maintain. So I say that to say it's important to teach the next generation what to do because yes, I inherited this wealth. I inherited the my residential property, but I'm still learning how to sustain it. I'm still learning about making sure we don't lose this doggone house. Not that I'm on a break. I'm not. It's not there, but there is a prayer. Like I'm sitting there like, Lord, please. You're humbled. You are humbled. I'm like, Lord,
Absolutely.
I'm able to say that I own my home and I became a homeowner in 2014. So I think I was under 30 at the time. I don't even know how old I people, whatever. I
Well,
was
I was
under 30.
26, girl, 12 years ago.
26 to okay, yeah, I'll take your word
Just
for
turned 39.
it. You do math really fast. I'm so proud of you.
I like money. Simple
I'm
mathematics. That
why we
algebra
talking
shit.
about
That
calculating?
algebra shit ain't never fucking clicked. But when it's that simple mathematics, adding, subtracting, dividing, multiplying.
I'm sitting
I
there like,
knows that.
"Carry the one." Okay, yeah, that sounds that sounds right. But, yeah, so for me to be able to say that, I can't lose what I'm building. Like you said,
Mhm.
yes, I inherited this wealth I inherited this property, but now I have to intentionally continue to build so that Ramses and Roman can sustain it
Mhm.
in the future, and then their kids can sustain it. Cause like I said, ain't nobody allowed to sell this house to
Well, we put it in a contract,
Yes, we
so
sure
they
did.
can't.
Don't play with me. I will raise from the dead and I will haunt my children if they did all the bloods and to jump back sorry, to go back to how I mentioned earlier with my uncles, it's sad because buying a house now, yes, it's a big deal, but it was a bigger deal back then for
Yeah.
the gum ones, as we love to title them. It was such a like for them to leave a country that they were familiar with, come to a land of the unknown, and a lot of them literally came and stayed in a room with either a family member or somebody that knew
The
somebody
basement.
here. Like,
That weird basement room.
yes, and buy property, move their whole family. I'll use, I keep using my aunt as a example. She came over here, I want to say in the 50s or 60s by herself. First one, she's the oldest of 11, came over to pretty much scout. That's why I tell people, she came down here to scout
She
the
was a
place.
scout.
Yes.
Mhm.
When she finally was able to get enough money to get up, but mind you, she likes to remind us that her first apartment building was on Greenock. And it was a one-bedroom apartment, but it was the six of them. Because when she made enough money, she literally would bring each family member over. She got to six. Went from Greenock, an apartment building with all six siblings, to buying this house here in Hyde Park and moved everybody up in here until everybody got married and then, went their own separate ways, except for my mama who said, nah, babe, I'm gonna stick with you. Um, Everybody ended up kind of just getting a piece of that and getting their own property. For them to be that proud and then the unfortunate event of then that house being lost or sold, they rolling in their graves. They are rolling in their graves thinking back on, damn, I busted my ass for my
And why was that property sold?
well, the one in Hyde Park, I'm assuming he just wanted the money. I think it's what we said before, where people get into situations where they can't hold up the house, or there's other stuff that's going on, they need the money, and they're like, "Well, fuck it, this is a quick way for me to make money. I'll just sell."
Yeah, but selling I'm not gonna turn this into a real estate situation. We're gonna leave that one alone. Because I'll go on a tangent. Um, let's talk about what wealth looks like for you, the non-tangible parts. We kind of touched about it a little bit more. It's and we spoke by definition, it's not just the accumulation of financial assets, it's the knowledge part.
Yes.
For you, what do you think, especially being that generation that's creating the blueprint,
Mhm.
what does those assets look like to you, the non-tangible ones?
Honestly, you mentioned one that I'm actually trying to learn myself was the financial literacy.
Hmm.
But also, I take it a step deeper with mental health, like emotional intelligence.
Hmm. Hmm.
That type of strength, to me is important. I work hard so that Ramses knows he has a safe space and is deserving of that. And I don't think that we had that growing up because we were just told to keep your head down and work, do what you're told, don't start any problems.
Yep.
I want my children, especially, and we've said this before, because they're boys, they are young Black men, to know you have rights. You have just as much rights to be in a space where your counterparts are. Do not lower your head, don't lower your standards, don't lower anything because someone is making you feel like you don't belong here. So, to me, that's really what wealth is, being able to stand in your power and be confident in that.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think I agree with what you're saying also, but I think in our community as well, there's other things that we don't really focus on. And we was kind of talk about it earlier, health,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We got to teach good, healthy habits because if your health starts to deteriorate, you're going to
Mm,
start selling off those assets because
mhm.
you can't work and you can't sustain some of these certain things,
Yeah,
and by health, I'm talking about mental and physical, right?
yeah,
So for me, it's a accumulation of a lot of different things that you got to put into this
yeah,
generational wealth thing. You know, you obviously once you accumulate a certain amount of wealth,
mhm,
you're put in a different class, health insurance. You're not really thinking about it. You feel sick, you feel burdened, you feel something doesn't feel right. You go to the hospital.
yeah,
Whereas, like again, going back to those that don't understand or not play, not even an understanding thing. You got to think about it. It's like if they don't feel good, they don't have the luxuries of taking half a day or a full day to go sit at the hospital. And then by the time they do have the time to go do that, when they get off of work, they're either going to the next job or they're too tired to go do that because they got to be back at work the next day. Because if they don't go to work, there's no money being made and they're already on a tight enough budget as it is.
yeah,
So it's almost as if they're never going to get a chance to accumulate that generational wealth that we're talking about, the financial assets part of it. Because and I think it goes back to what you was just saying as well, because if we're not telling the next how we even got to this part, it wasn't no, I know to you grew up in all this, but
yeah,
this wasn't normal. This
yeah,
is not life. This was not every day. We had to change certain things. We had to sacrifice. You had to build on
yeah,
the knowledge component part, because you could become a millionaire overnight, but if you don't have the knowledge, just prime example, more than 80% of the biggest sports leagues, NFL and NBA,
mhm,
are predominantly African American.
mhm,
They come into large sums of money, quick, fast, in a hurry. Then there's their careers about NFL is about 4 years. NBA is probably 8 to 10, I believe, close to that or
un
whatever. Okay, but
unless
they're
you're LeBron
broke.
James.
They're broke after.
Yeah,
You're making millions upon millions of dollars, but they don't understand the knowledge part. And I'm glad that the NBA and NFL started, really putting in financial classes to help them. And some of these athletes nowadays, they got their moms who understand what's going on. They got that family member that understand what's going on, that's giving them the knowledge. Like, all right, I'm not controlling your stuff, but this is what you need to be doing. This is
mhm,
how we're going to move to make sure that not just you and the life that you're trying to live right now being flashy.
yeah,
We need to make sure when this thing ends in 6 years, there's still money, not just for you to live, but the next to live.
yeah,
Because we don't know if they're going to get that opportunity to come into millions of dollars like you just came into. You just set up.
yeah,
Well, we're working for one generation, maybe two, depending on how life kicks in. You just set up 3 generations
yeah,
if you do it right.
yeah, yeah. That's like, oh Lord, I'm sorry. My squishy ball. I
This
popped
girl
it.
said my squishy ball.
It's a stress ball. No, it's
You
funny.
stressed out right now?
I'm always stressed out. You know, my life is like I got 2 boys, and we over here talking about generational wealth. I'm always stressed out, okay? Uh, no, somebody had sent me a reel about this, um, man who it's funny because he's super light skinned and I thought he was white because he kept saying "we" and "they," and I was like, "Who the hell is this white man talking about they, them?" Who
You're
you
so rude. What if he just identified with us?
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that with you. I'm not doing that with you. But he brought up a good I believe the conversation was about generational wealth where he said the problem with our community is
Wait,
where
was he white?
no, he was black.
Okay.
He was like super, super, super light skinned. And he was saying that the
Not you
gen
calling that man clear, but go ahead.
he was real high yellow. Uh, he said that pretty much white people plan for 2, 3 generations,
Yes.
whereas we plan for Saturday.
Yes.
We plan for the next day. We don't plan long term. Um, and us having this conversation makes me realize it's because we weren't taught to do that. We weren't taught that we can do that. I think outside of just being black and being a minority, we also come from a culture where they were used to everything being taken away from them
Hmm.
at
Hmm.
any given moment. So they don't necessarily think in the, "Oh, I'm gonna save for the future." They don't know if they even have a future. They don't know if they're gonna make it that far. So they have the mindset of, I need to work for today. I need to work for now. I need to work so that I can make it to tomorrow. I don't know if I'm gonna make it 10 years. Like I know I had friends at one point who would be like, I don't have a 401k. I don't know if I'm making it that late in life. And I'm just like, that that's really what we thinking? I another example I'll give is when I was an admin for the general counsel. So I got some perks because he had a financial advisor. He let me use his financial advisor, and I was talking to him, and I was 33 at the time, and I remember him telling me how what's the word I'm looking for? Proud? Not proud, or whatever I think it is proud. How proud he was of me for having such a head start on my 401k. And I'm like, "The fuck you mean head start? I'm 33. I've been working for decades, and I'm just now doing this." And he was like, "No, you'd be surprised how many people at your age."
You would be surprised. There's people at big ass age of my age, and there's nothing, no savings, no 401ks, no nothing. You know, it's unfortunate, because people have different mindsets, right?
Yeah.
And it goes back to what we're teaching and what we were taught. Let me ask you a question, right?
Yeah.
When do you, if you ever did, have that conversation about your parents about cash flow,
Never.
money?
Never.
Like you knew they was paying bills, you knew they went to work, but nobody really ever sat down with us and explained
Nope.
the value of a dollar.
Nope.
Yes, I go to work, but, and I'm not asking our parents to be break because I don't do it for kids. I'm not
Yeah.
breaking down how much I make and blah blah blah, and this is goes to that.
I don't know
But
about
there's like no conversations about it. We never talked about money. Like
yeah.
when you start working, they start telling you put in your savings. Put in your savings, but they're not explaining to you why we're putting it in the savings. You know what I mean? Right now, I just did all this work. I want to go get some Jordans. What you talking about putting in my savings? But I feel as though in the conversations that you have, prime example, when we go to the store with Caden, oh, it's decision making time.
Mm,
Okay, you want this, but by getting this is what you might potentially be giving up.
yeah.
Oh, so I can't get them both. You can get them both, but not right now. So
Yeah.
now you got to make a decision. Now you got to think about, okay, when I'm getting these allowances, when I'm getting these gift cards and all this other stuff, that boy's smart though. He don't use his money.
Of course not.
When it's time to use his money, oh boy, that boy be looking. He was like, $70. That is that. Why is it so much? And then he's kind of like looking back at you. I was like, damn, that's crazy. I don't know. So you
My
you going into that bank of yours or no?
my niece got me like that once. This is the 23-year-old, but at this time, I think she was maybe 13, 14.
Mm-hmm.
And she was living in Ohio, and I went to visit, and I was like, "Well, I'll take you shopping." But she had money. It was her birthday money. So we were at Journeys. Oh Lord, I don't even know if Journeys is still open. But we were at Journeys, and she's like looking at sneakers, looking at sneakers. I think she had $75 or whatever. She picked out 2 sneakers that cost exactly 75. And so we get to the register, and she didn't think about taxes. So she the thing came up, whatever the tax was, but it was more than 75, and she looked at me and she was like, "I didn't know about taxes, like, I don't can you Tati, like, can you help me here?" And I was like, "No." Like, I mean, I ended up doing it, but had to make her sweat first.
I was like, damn, you really didn't give her the couple dollars? I
But
mean, there's a lesson in it, but
I was like, "No, but you gotta now you know." But I think, um, I'm I am gonna probably learn from you with Ramses. I know granted he's 4, but this little boy be going to the supermarket, "Mommy, can I have this?" I was like, "Do you have money?" He's like, "No, but you do." "Who told you that? Who told you I have money?" And Will Smith said something, I forgot what show he was on, and,
before you continue, do you see the symmetry here? The red and the blue in our backgrounds?
I did not until you said something. Look at
I kept staring
us.
at it the whole time. Like, I knew you put the red lights on earlier today, but I
Yes.
was like, damn, her sweat is bright as fuck. Like, why is it emulating like that? And I was like, oh shit. Hey, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Oh, when I first got on, I was all in pure darkness as we was trying to figure out this light, and red seems to be the only one that seems to work. See, okay, universe, I see what you did there. No, but he was on a talk show and he was talking about his kids and how at one point they said something to him and they're like, I think they wanted to buy something or they wanted to do something, and they were talking about money, and he was like, "Well, we're rich," and he was like, "No, no, no.
We not rich.
Mommy and daddy are rich."
We rich.
He's like, "Y'all broke. Like, you didn't make money yet." And when he said that, I was like, "Yo, that's actually a very valid point that we as parents should start teaching our children. No, 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 no. You don't have money. Like, I have money and I worked for it." Go ahead.
You know, the crazy part that you're talking about, I remember a prime example with Caden. Um, his mom, when she don't want to go buy something, she would say, I'm broke. I don't have no money.
Mhm.
And then it started putting in his mind, I can't ask her for certain things. I gotta go and ask my dad. Because for me, if you ask me for McDonald's, $5, $6, yeah, okay, fine, whatever. You can have it. Like, I'm not thinking nothing of it,
Yeah.
but he's already starting to put financial barriers on two different. And I used to try to tell. I was like, yo, stop telling me you're broke because you're not broke.
Yeah.
I don't want him to think that you're working and you're doing business and you're not getting anything in return and that you can't afford $5, $6. No, just tell him you don't want to do it.
Yeah.
You know, these are the habits that I feel as though we weren't given,
No.
right? When we know that you're going to work, but yeah, you're always telling me you don't have money.
Yeah.
You have money. You just don't want to spend it on what I'm asking for.
Yeah.
We have to have these real conversations with, I understand that they're kids and maybe I'm a weirdo by talking to my child, 8-year-old child, like he's a young adult and understand. I curve the conversations,
Yeah.
but I want him to understand, like, you're not going to be going through life aloof and not understanding how things work. You have to work for certain things. Yes, you've been afforded a life of luxury.
Yeah.
You ask and then you get.
Yeah.
It's very rare that you hear no, right? But I need you to understand where that comes from. It comes from your dad, your mom, your bonus mom working their regular jobs, and then everybody having side hustles, if not 2 to 3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Tiffany's doing consultant and putting on events. Your mom is doing crafting and all this other stuff. Your dad's in real estate. He owns trucking. He does it. We don't sleep.
No.
And majority of the time since you've been born, we don't work for ourselves. We work for you.
Yeah.
And I think if know better, do better, right?
Right.
I feel as though some of the things that I used to hear when I was a child, I was like, but that was not really true. You had money. You didn't. So now I'm saying, I was like, I'm not going to lie to that damn kid. I don't want to do it. I just don't want to do it.
Something else that you said that brought, that well, I'm not gonna say triggered. That triggered a thought, I will say. It didn't happen to me personally, but I have a lot of friends with immigrant parents where when they did start working, they had the parent that would say, "Let me hold that check for you."
Oh boy. Yeah. Boy,
Let me
you just made me hot. Fuck me. You hold that check.
Let me hold that check.
No,
Oh,
I could go
come
cash
take
it.
it
It
from
only
me.
gonna cost me $1 at farmer's market. I go cash my damn
Oh
self.
my God, remember those days?
Oh, yes. Yes. Before I even give you a chance to talk about let me hold it for you, I already spent it. I don't know what to tell you. It gone.
Well, standing in that line at farmer's market to cash your check. Oh my God. But anyway,
Yo, if you don't know what farmer's market is, then
it was
it
the
ain't for you.
airport.
You don't need to know.
It was the hub. It's the Boston hub for Haitians.
Dollar. One
But
dollar per what was it, like per $1,000 or something like that?
uh, probably, and my
It
checks
was
ain't
cheap
never
to cash a check back then.
my check ain't never hit $1,000 back
Oh, and it
then.
never hit that for me either. So I always was just paying $1.
$1. But no, like I don't want. Well, no, it was a setup because if you think about it, they didn't tell us to. They did tell us to save, right? They got a savings account. They told us we have to put our money in there. We
Hmm.
get a job, we get a check, and you take that check from me. Or you even have the people who open up bills in their kids' names.
Oh, I
Have
didn't. Thank God my mother never did that to me.
or you know, just
I hear those horror stories. I'm like, wait, what? What do you
full
mean
blown debt.
you have bad credit? You're 12 like me. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
I don't even know what the fuck credit is at this moment. Like I'm thinking they talking about credit cards. Like how do you even have a credit card at 12? I was so lost at the fact of what these people was talking about.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
You mean what?
Matter of fact, you saying credit card, my first guys, and this is a story, and I actually tell this to my niece when she like turned 18. Let me tell you something. I turned 18 and all these credit card people started ping, 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 ping. Apple, you're pre-approved,
You fell into
pre-approved.
the trap.
I got like 5 credit cards and I maxed them all out. Not realizing you gotta pay these motherfuckers back.
But
And
again, you didn't know
I
how it
didn't
worked.
know.
I
No,
thought you just swiped that shit and that's it.
that's
Because I
it.
fell into that trap. I had about 6 of them hoes.
Yo,
By the time it was all said and done, I racked up close to $10,000 in
yeah,
credit cards.
just
And
sitting there.
I'm saying here, I was like, wait, why are you calling me?
Yeah,
I
like
thought somebody else takes care of this shit. I don't know what the fuck you talking about. And then here's another thing that we were never taught coming up. Taxes.
listen,
Like you knew at a because you was working stipend jobs, so they wasn't really taking taxes
or
out of your
putting
shit.
exempt, or you could put exempt
You know
from
what I
a
mean? Like
certain
I
age.
claim you claim 0, and then I never knew what none of that shit meant. I just did what they fucking told me because they told me I get more money in my check. And
Yeah,
then at the end of the year, you give your mom your little W-2, and I didn't even know that she was getting returns back.
that's because it was
I
her.
didn't fucking know what that would do. But this is the type of stuff. It was like that part y'all didn't know. Y'all
Yeah,
knew taxes. Y'all could have educated us on taxes. Y'all knew credit cards. You could have taught us how to do
you could
credit
have told
cards.
me
You know what I
no.
mean? Like right now, Caden, his name is on an American Express Platinum.
Yeah,
He's building good credit
yeah.
because we put it on that card because you can't carry a balance. So once you use it, you have to pay it in full at the end of every month. So you swipe it and don't have it if you want to. See what them interest rates look like.
Oh,
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 American Express Platinum does not play.
oh, I'm happy you said
Okay.
that. I think I'm gonna hold off on getting that
Yeah,
card.
boy. Let me tell you, they. Now listen, there's a lot of perks that comes with carrying a platinum card, but Jesus Weezus. But
Yeah,
you know, we came from a generation where some of our friends were talking about their names were being put in light bills,
yeah.
run it up, mess up their credits, and all this other stuff. Things being put in their names, and it's like, why are we doing this?
Hmm. But it's
I
because
get it, times are hard or whatever, but now you just broke another level of that generation. Now
you
that person
didn't
is
pass
fighting
on
for
generational wealth. You passed on generational struggle.
that man or girl was already doomed at the age of 8.
Yeah, you already created their lane of disadvantage.
Like,
But a lot of times, let me take that back. I'm not gonna say a lot of times. Sometimes, and it goes back because we keep talking about it's just a reoccurring cycle. These things are being done out of ignorance of how bad you are actually fucking up this child's future.
mhm.
And let's play angel's advocate and say They're probably
Angel
doing
advocate?
that's what Renard said, and so he says instead of saying devil's advocate, he's gonna play angel's advocate to give them the benefit of the doubt. Don't ask me questions. Just talk to your friend. That's what he says. Um,
Yo, you just threw me all the way the fuck off. I was like, did she mean devil's advocate? She's just gonna keep running with that? I was like, no, say something.
I
You
mean,
gotta say
technically,
something.
if you wanna go deeper, the devil was once an angel, but you know what? I mean, that's a different
The
story.
devil was once an angel,
We
but
should have a
to say
conversation about
angel's
religion.
advocate, it just threw me off. But
That's
continue, sorry.
what I love to do, and you can't do things like that because 'cause Imma lose my train of thought.
Well, don't
Doggone.
throw out sayings that don't make sense to me.
Um, we talk about cycles repeating over and over and over again. But I think sometimes, like I said, angel's advocate will give them the benefit of doubt. They probably have it in their brain that if I do this while my child is young enough, they got time to fix it in the future. They got time to figure it out and make it work. They're only,
In theory, that makes sense, right?
but you
But
still have
just
to
think
teach.
about it, you know, before I got to where I'm at now, your boy had some fucked up credit, right?
Bro, don't even talk to me about that. Okay.
So when you're thinking about it, it takes you years to get to a certain level. Miss one payment, see what happens. That whole dropped 60 fucking points. But yet when I'm paying on time for 7-8 months, I get 20 points. That math ain't mathing. That math ain't mathing. I don't get it.
At all.
You
And
miss one payment
that's
by a
it.
few days that puts you over the 30-day threshold. You drop 60.
Yeah.
And I educate my real estate people also. This is not me speaking from experience, but I'm if you miss a mortgage payment,
Oh, they about to take your whole house.
that's 110 points dropped. One missed mortgage payment.
Mm,
Don't play with your mortgage, people.
don't. And
On
you lose
average,
your
it's about
house.
110. But you're losing at least 100 points. 100 points. So imagine those of you that are right there at the threshold of 620 to even get qualified for certain rates,
Yeah.
because you could get qualified at 580. Nowadays, with the banks how they acting, they want to see that 620 bare minimum.
Mhm.
But if you're qualified at a 620, barely getting over because your DTI and all that stuff just don't make sense, and we hula hoop to some shit, and we got you approved for that single family, right?
Yeah.
You miss one payment, you're at 520. 520. You know how long it's gonna take for you to get that 100 points back?
A
You
lot of
know what hula hoops you
months.
gotta go through? Don't play with
Let's
your
tell
mortgage payments now.
let's tell the funny story, and then we're gonna jump to another part. Um, do you wanna tell the story about about the down payment for me?
Oh shit. Yo. Yo, you almost gave me a motherfucking heart attack. Yo, I was like, I was all right, good folks.
Mm,
This goes back to what we're talking about building generational wealth.
yes.
The part that we're focused on here is the knowledge aspect.
Mhm.
We all have 10,000 podcasts we could listen to on how to build generational wealth. We know what we need to be doing, but the part that we always lack on when we're talking about it is the knowledge part, right?
Yeah.
So Shu told you I was her real estate agent to get her investment property. Shout out to her for that. So she was getting her investment property. We're going through all the rigmaroles. We got the pre-approvals. We got the loan letters. We got everything. We in place, right? We put in the offer accepted. We're like, all right, cool. And then now we do the binding offer. I think we put about like 2K down, whatever the case may be. And then it's time to get to PNS. So I go, and mind you, I've sent Shu
Guys,
paperwork back
PNS
and
is
forth.
purchase and sale, I learned that.
Yes. PNS is purchase and sales. Sorry if I'm talking in jargon. Thanks for catching that. So I'm sending Shu documents to be signed and knowing where we are in the steps. There's a checklist that she gets so she could check off all the parts where she's at, right?
Mhm.
Send her over the purchase and sales agreement. And I'm like, yo, what you need to do is call up your Fidelity. Since that's where you're gonna be pulling out your the bread from for the percentage down, and they'll overnight a check for you. You just let them know what it's for, and then they'll do the overnight check. Yada yada yada. Not my first rodeo. Shu acknowledges what I said. Sign said documents. Now, guys, me and Shu are family. But even with family, don't just be blind signing. Shu wasn't asking me all the questions. She wasn't building up her knowledge base. And I'm
No.
like, Shu already owns a home, so I'm assuming she knows a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
Not realizing that her aunts put her in a position where she didn't need to know,
No.
but I'm assuming, oh, you're a homeowner. You know how all this stuff goes, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. All right, I need you to go get the 75 bands. And then Shu's going to go send me a message like, wait, the bank don't give that to me? Guys, when you talk about, I never count my ducats until I get my ducats, right? But at this point, we are in a position, I've seen statements, I'm seeing bank accounts, I've seen it all. I'm like, oh, she good, we're Gucci, this deal's closed. So I'm like, ooh, I'm about to make me a nice little commission. I already started thinking about, okay, what is gonna be her closing gift? So I'm out here doing my thing, right? This girl texted me that joint. I think I was driving to work when you texted to me too. I could pull the,
You know
excuse
what?
my language, but I'm going to say, I could pull the fuck over. I called Shu right away. I said, what the fuck did you just text me? She gonna go, no, I don't understand. The 75,000, the bank ain't giving that to me?
Yo.
I paused, and I
You
think
were
I
like,
think I
what
hit the I think I had called you, and then I hit the FaceTime because I needed to see your face at this
you
point.
did.
So I FaceTime you. I'm like, no, she's fucking with me. I know she's fucking with me. And you asked it again for a third time,
I mean,
and
I was so dead serious.
that's when I was like, wait the fuck on. Hold up. Wait a second. Am I tripping? Did I not confirm that you had these funds? And she was like, no, I have the money, but I thought the bank gives that to me. Did they say I was pre-approved for 600, whatever the amount was? I
Yep.
was like, yeah, you're approved for that, but you know, you're only going to get the 3.5% comes out of your, no, what was that? 5%,
Yeah.
5% down, right?
Yeah.
That 5% comes out of you pay that. They're only paying you up to 95% of the $700,000 that they pre-approved you for. Shu looked at me and was like, oh, that's interesting. I was like, it was 10% actually. We put
Yo.
10%. And I was saying, I was like, so do we not have this money? Like, is this deal about to fall apart? Like, do I have to go call these people
Yo, we were at the finish line.
yo, I was really saying that. I was like, no, this can't be life. This cannot be life. And then Shu goes, okay, I just didn't know. I'll call Fidelity right now and then I'll tell them that. I was like, this motherfucker right here. Ever since then, I realized never fucking assume.
Yeah.
Never fucking assume because not everybody has the same knowledge base as you.
But
Even
I
right
think
now, I was talking in jargon and you had to correct me. Not everybody knows what a purchase and sales is.
at all. I didn't know what
You
it
know what I
was if
mean?
I was
So
reading the words.
yeah,
But I'll tell you this. It's
the
it's
whole time when I tell you gave me a fucking heart attack that day, I was like, yo,
but
what?
I want to say there were lots of lessons that day. There were lots of lessons. But I think one of the lessons that we should pull from there also is what you said in regards to family or friends and doing business with them. Granted, I trust you 1,000% because we are family and I know you, but that wasn't smart on my end.
Absolutely not.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I ain't read nothing that I signed because to me,
Actually, that too. I was like, shoot, did you not read the stuff that I
no.
sent you? She was like,
And I told you,
no,
no.
you sent it to me. I trust you. So I just signed what you told me to sign. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. In my mind, all I hear is Alex in the back of my head, like when this all falls apart and then like he's getting a complaint from the seller side and all this other stuff. And I'm like, how am I going to explain this to Alex? Like he's gonna make me present at Gen Drop Fridays on what I did wrong and how I'm gonna learn from this. And I'm like, yo, this girl just created more work for me because she did not. And
I
ever
ain't
since then, I promise you now, any document, we getting on a Zoom or I'm coming to you. I know we do everything digitally now, and I think that's where the disconnect is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because before everything was ink, right?
Mhm.
Like your closing, you have to do in wet ink. Like
Yeah.
you're not doing that digital, right?
Right.
Because they want to make sure that you're going line by line and you understand what it is that you're signing. And as real estate agents and as new entrepreneurs, a lot of our stuff is just digital.
Yeah.
And we're assuming the person on the other end
Know what the fuck they
knows
doing.
what the hell you're talking about, but not everybody is created equal or taught equally, right?
Nope.
Some of us just really don't know. And that was on that was a mistake on my end, not just as a real estate agent,
Yeah.
as a friend and somebody who's in business, right?
Right.
I never took the time to be like, hey, this is what you're signing and why.
Yeah.
These are the things that's in this piece of document right here. I know it's a lot of jargon, but review it. Take a look at it, right? Don't just take my word for it. Don't just take Leo's word for it. We got to walk you through all this
Yeah.
stuff because you're not buying a stick of fucking gum now.
No. Not
This is
at
a
all.
whole ass property that you locked into for 30 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
30 years. That's
Yep.
yours.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it ties back to this generational wealth stuff that we're talking about because it's not just about you're accumulating the assets.
Yeah.
You own 2 pieces of property right now.
Yeah.
But the knowledge part, the knowledge almost through everything in flux, right? Everything was almost just right out the window. You was about to just be a single owning home person. Not saying that there's anything wrong with that. Not everybody's built to have multiple properties, right?
Right.
I'm
Right.
not those type of agents that say you got to do this, you got to do that. You got to do what's best for you and your family,
Yeah.
right? And some people don't want the fucking headaches of being landlords. You know what I mean? Like, this half the time. Side story, y'all. You know, it just snowed the other day. I'm the person, I'll see it fucking snowing. I'm watching it and I'm looking at all the snow and I'm watching the people. Like, I could look out my window and watch these people shoveling. And I was like, no, says I. I ain't going out there. Devil is a lie. That's his playground out there. I'm going to sit right here in my warmth. And then when it's, the sneaker ball happened on Saturday. So I didn't even fucking shovel out. I opened up the garage and I drove right over that bitch.
Oh, because
If I could get out, if I get through, I'm out. So I did that, came back, drove right back through that shit. I looked at it. The next day, I slept the day away, nice and chilling. I'm watching people clean up their shit. I'm like, I ain't fucking doing it. Well, let me tell you, Tuesday morning, when it was time for me to get up, right before the gym, I was like, well, I should probably clear this snow out because I know this girl got to leave the house. We have people coming into the house. And I was like, the last thing I need is somebody slipping and falling on my part of the property, right? So I started shoveling that shit. Boy, let me tell you, the whole time I was shoveling, I was like, man, fuck this goddamn house. Why is this motherfucking driveway so long? Why did having the largest house and the largest lot of land? Why? That's just dumb. Some of these people, they were shoveling, they got just their little curve of their thing. And I'm like, man, that'd have been so easy to do.
Yeah.
I was so pissed. And I say that to say, not everybody's built for these things because you have to do it. Either pay somebody or you got to get out there and go do it because the last thing you want is somebody slipping on your property. Okay? Knowledge, people. That's real generational wealth right there. Knowledge. When you have the information, spread it. Whether it be a funny situation like I just explained, but now you know, oh, when it's snowing, I can't just let it accumulate.
Nope.
You're a homeowner.
Or get
and
cold
then when you become like Shoe, before you even shovel out your place, you got to go shovel out your investment property first.
Yep.
Your tenants got to have access in and out.
Yep.
And then you worry about your personal property.
Awesome.
A lot of people are not built to do that type of stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't even understand the sidewalk, even though the city owns that, you still technically own that piece of the sidewalk too. So that sidewalk and if it's on your lines, you own that.
Yeah. And
that needs to be shoveled also.
Restrictions on how it's supposed to be shoveled.
Listen, you got to shovel. You have to put down salt.
Yep. You
some
need
towns
enough
require
space for two people to be able to fit on that sidewalk.
Some towns tell you it can't be salt. You can only put down sand. You see what I'm saying? Like, no knowledge. And that's the thing that people don't understand. It's like, we just want to tell you, go buy a home.
Yeah.
That's cool. But these come with buying a home.
Yeah.
Now, granted, don't let me shy you away from this. When shit hits the fan, My family's sitting on a
Yeah.
mil plus, but Shoe right now is sitting on a couple mil.
Oh, don't be sending people over here though.
I'm just saying, like, these are the pros and cons,
Yeah.
right? You
Yeah.
have to weigh the balances of everything that you're dealing with. That's what the knowledge part of generational wealth is all about.
Yeah.
It's not about, oh my God, that's such a I don't want to deal with a mortgage. You're dealing with rent that goes up every year.
Every year,
So
and
at
at this
this
point, some
point,
rent is as much as a mortgage, so
and people want to keep telling me, I'm gonna wait for rates to go down.
oh, okay.
Sir,
See you in the next lifetime.
you buy and hold. When rates go down, refi. Okay.
Boom,
Refi your rate.
boom.
That's all it comes down to. Rates don't go down and they keep going up. Guess what? You're already locked in.
Yeah,
Who cares?
yeah. Let's talk about, some of the barriers about building generational wealth, right? We know about the systematic challenges because we spoke about that, and personal responsibility. I think one of the important things that we did speak about, but maybe we can dive in more about it, is short-term survival versus long-term planning. And there it goes back to the man I told you who said black people pretty much plan for
Plan
Sat
for Saturday.
and that is our short-term survival.
Hmm.
To you, how do you think we can transition that short-term survival mindset into long-term planning? Because we didn't wake up and just say we need to plan for long term. Something had to have happened in our lives to remove this short term survival tactic and perspective and say, no, 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 I need to think long term.
Hmm. Um, so even before I dive into that, when we talk about systematic challenges in this great nation of ours, we know what systematic we're talking about.
No.
But imagine being not even from this country.
Yeah.
That's a double barrier for you.
Yeah.
So to see those people accumulate and build assets with the very little knowledge that they have,
Yeah.
relying on the truths of the people that created these systematic challenges.
Yeah.
You know, the market crash in '08 happens for a reason.
Yeah.
They're going to blame the people all they want, but okay. Anyways, let's get off that soapbox. So you asked,
How do you
say your
feel we
question
can
again.
transition? How, well, it was a two-part question. The first one was, how do you feel we can transition from short-term survival mode to long-term planning? But also, how did you do it? Like, what did you have an event that happened, something you saw, something you felt? Like, how did you go? Because let's keep it real. We all started with living paycheck to paycheck.
Absolutely.
How did you go from living paycheck to paycheck to now living
The way I live my life, I'd be like, damn, am I still living paycheck to paycheck?
listen, I got you.
Thank God for these pieces of paper that say I'm not, but I be looking at them bank accounts sometimes. I was like,
Ooh, listen, every other
and you look at some accounts and be like, damn, that's not even for me,
yeah, I gotta go
asshole.
check my account now that I think about
Anyways, for me, I will say it didn't change because I'm gonna keep harping on the knowledge part, right?
Yeah,
I didn't know a lot of things. I told you, I ran up credit cards.
yeah,
I was getting cell phones, and the moment I couldn't pay it, I'll just go to the next company and get a cell phone. Like
yeah,
that was what we knew. You
yeah,
needed to have these things, and if you didn't have it, you charge it and you deal
keep
with the
pushing.
consequences later on, right?
Yes.
So for me, it didn't click for me until I was educated in the military. It
Mm,
was first sergeant. Fuck was that man's name? Well, it was my first sergeant, and it was a black man. And I told you, it was one for every about 30 to 40 white males
mhm,
was in the infantry, right?
mhm,
For every one black man in the infantry, there's about 40 other soldiers
yeah,
of other races. Let's put it that way. This black man was in charge of the whole company, and for some reason was having a conversation, and he literally, I don't even know how we came about it, We was in Afghanistan, and he literally told me, "Oh, today payday. What you doing with that check? I know you stashing it away. You you putting that money." He said something to me, and I was like, "Yeah, I can't wait till I get back because I'm saving up all this tax-free money, and I'm gonna go get this car." And he said, "What?" He was like, "Come here, come with me." He sat me down, and he literally told me, "Open up my credit report." I didn't even know how to pull
Mm,
that shit up.
mm,
I didn't even know how to pull that shit the fuck up.
yeah.
So he pulled it up, and it was like, I knew that would be the thing. So this is what we're gonna do. He sat me down and taught me about credit scores, how to maneuver, how to get things removed, and then put me on an assignment. He made me pull up all my debts and said, "That's what we're doing. While you're here for this year and you don't got to worry about no other bills, we're attacking all these debts. We're getting either removed because they're so old, or we're going to pay them off. So you're going to be calling up creditors, working out plans or deals." And it cost me about 20 some $1,000. But I went into Afghanistan, I was a five something. I came back home, I was 748.
Hey.
I was like, and then I still didn't understand what the fuck that 748 meant.
Yeah,
He told me you want to be above 720, blah blah blah, and he explained it to me, but I still didn't grasp what the fuck this man was talking about.
yeah.
But then I realized you could be broke as fuck,
Mhm.
but if you got a credit score, you could walk into any bank and get money. You
Yeah,
could walk anywhere and get a fucking credit card to survive off of
yeah,
and use it wisely, right?
yeah.
There was this one thing when I started really like, now that my eyes were open and that light switch turned on,
Mhm.
that's when I started looking into, hey, how do taxes work? How did this work? And I had a roommate that was a accountant for a large firm, and he did tax law. And he started telling me about the loophole. The man started telling me, he was like, "Yo, this is a write-off. This is a write-off.
Mm,
You got to shave your head to be in the military standards and all that stuff. So the shaving cream, the razors and all that stuff, that's a write-off." And then he was like, "If you're not getting back X amount of dollars as a United States soldier, young single man, if you're not making this, then you're doing something wrong." He sat
mm.
there, he taught me all this. Ever since then, those two people, it changed something in me to the point where it was like, "Oh, y'all done fucked up now. Y'all done gave me the cheat code." So now, ever since I knew, I gotta pass this information on now, because I know motherfuckers that I was running around with, like, we knew savings,
Yeah, that's it.
but nobody told us about
Investment.
compounding interest,
Yep,
yields, put your money into this, these type of stocks. You want to sit it and forget it.
yeah,
These are stocks that you play around with. You let it grab some money, and you grab that out, put it over there, move this money there. I'm like, what?
yeah,
And from there, it's no longer about the Jordans. It's about putting money. One person told me, go home, look at the five most expensive stuff that you own. How many do you have of it? Go to their the S&P 500, not S&P 500. Go to the Nasdaq, see how much it is to buy a stock, a full stock
mm,
in that company, and buy at least one stock.
mm.
You're putting money back into yourself,
Yeah,
right? That
yeah,
was my first introduction into how like investing and all that stuff work. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. Now, I'm not gonna give you the glory and not tell you about the fucking the
there you go.
downfall. You
Yes.
know what I mean? Like, I'm a motherfucker that lost $70,000 in the stock market.
Oof,
Okay.
oof.
When you lose that type of money, you're like, give me my shit back. Give my shit back. Give me all that shit back. I'm gonna put it over here in the safe little bank right here, where they're giving me 2 pennies every year on $50,000.
Yep,
I don't care.
yep.
Y'all not losing no more of my shit. But that scared mentality,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
If you understand how the stock market works, if you can afford it, even with me losing the $70,000, there was still about $37,000 in there.
yeah,
Had I just left it alone and let the market correct itself, you
yeah,
don't know which way it could have went to zero for all I fucking know, right? But now knowing how the market works, I've sit there and I've logged in and I was like, $20,000 just went down because of this decision that they just made in Washington. Instead of panicking now, I'll sit there and be like, you know what? I'm just gonna log out of this shit. There's some accounts I don't even log into.
Yeah.
I won't log into. I wait until the accountant be like, hey, this is where they send quarterly reports. Hey,
Yeah.
this is where we are right now. They'll show you the little red or they'll show you the green. So far, these past few years, I'm netting about 6 to 7% increase. And I'm like,
I don't know
okay.
I don't know what any of that means.
Caden's still good, you know. You know, but it took a conversation of somebody understanding
Mhm.
and realizing like, man, this little black boy don't know.
At all.
Let me give him the tools that I know and then see what he does with it, right? Because I
Yeah.
could have turned around and be like, man, I ain't fucking doing that shit.
Yeah.
You
He
can't
gave
tell me what
you
to do with my goddamn money.
he gave you generational wealth.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that
Because
generational wealth doesn't necessarily need to come from your family. Generational
yes,
wealth goes
it
back
could come from
to
anybody. It could
yeah.
come from anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody could give you that generational wealth because by definition, it's the accumulation of financial assets, knowledge, and values passed down through generations.
Yeah. Yeah.
That man fixed Caden's life before Caden was even a twinkle in my ball sack.
I hate you so much. I don't even want to think about
I'm just saying, like, just
Big
think about it, right?
Lord.
That conversation put me on a trajectory to where I'm sitting at where I'm at now.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
child, he understands how money works now, but that's because of conversations we're having.
Yeah.
You
Do you think
know
4 years old is too young? You think I should start having that with Ramses?
what?
Money.
No, there's ways around it.
I mean, he's
There's
adding
there's card games that teach them how to use money and all that stuff. Like, you know, I'm not telling Kaden about credit cards because then knowing how his brain works, he's like, oh, just put it on your credit card. No, it don't work like that. And he's not gonna grasp that at the end of the month you got to pay it all off, right?
Yeah.
You take baby steps, right? I think an allowance and make them do things to get the allowance. Oh, you want this? This is how you're gonna get it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna buy this one. Let's
Yeah.
see how much you could save up. If you could save up this, then I'll match that.
Okay.
I'll make him save up $20. Save $20. You know what I mean? I'm teaching him how to negotiate. He had to babysit his little cousin one time, and then he was gonna do it for a bag of popcorns or some stupid goofy shit. I was like, oh no, we ain't no dummies out here. You gotta go back and negotiate. You need money, bro. And he negotiated $2 an hour. So he made $10. And I was like, all right, with that $10, you know, some of it gotta go in the piggy bank. And I don't care what you do with the rest. I don't.
Let's hop into some rapid fire questions.
Ooh, fun times.
Fun times. I was reading the first one and I already know what the answer is. Looking rich or being wealthy?
Being wealthy. The fuck?
All right, let's see.
I like nice shit,
and
but my bank account's gotta match the nice shit now.
I got to be able to sustain it.
Yeah.
You can make yourself look nice and not break the bank
People don't understand that part.
at all.
You could be buying shit right off the rack at your favorite mall
You could be
right
frustrated.
now. Put some accessories with that shit. You won't even know if it's designer, if it's tailored.
Listen, let me tell you
Huh.
something. I used to, me and rainbows was like this. At
Well,
my
I ain't talking about
holiday.
rainbows and telephones now.
Listen, I did, and didn't nobody ever know. I used to get compliments. People like, you are always so well put together. Yes, ma'am. And guess what? My outfit was less than $15.
But I think women can get away with that though,
Men can
because
too.
you put a good pair of shoes on, it changes the whole look.
You see, you be knowing that's because you got sisters. All right. Hustle culture. Is that helpful or harmful?
Woof. Helpful if you have the knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Hurtful if you don't have it.
Explain.
Because hustle culture is teaching us that we gotta go.
Mm-hmm.
But going with no direction or plan or
Mm-hmm.
actually foresight to understand that. I said this to somebody the other day. Everything that I do has a price tag at some point.
Yep.
You build it to sell it. That's business. That's
Yeah.
business 101. You might not ever sell it a day in your life, but you build it to sell it.
Yeah.
The Lakers sale finally just went through. Basketball shoe.
Yeah, I
The
know.
Los
Thank you.
Angeles Lakers.
Thank you. Thank you.
The Buss family The dad bought it in 1979 as and people made fun of him because
Uh-huh.
it was a bad buy. I think
Uh-huh.
he went into debt for it. I think let's call it a couple $1 million at that time. It
Okay.
was like $5 million that he had to come out of his own pocket for. The rest was put up by the banks, whatever the case may be. And he almost lost the franchise a couple times. Do you know his kids just sold majority stake, not the whole thing, majority stake at a valuation of $10 billion?
You think that was smart?
You sell majority stake for $10 billion?
Are they still owners? I don't
They're
know the
still
details.
owners. They're
Okay.
still owners. They're
Okay.
just not the majority owner. I don't give a fuck. I can still go around and say I own the Los Angeles Lakers, and I have $10 billion that I got to split with my. Obviously, after they pay off the debts, creditors, and all that
Yeah.
stuff. I think out of the 6 kids, they said that each of them would make a windfall of almost $500 million.
Huh.
Um, you just made $500 million, and your dad spent 5 million. You just 100x that,
Mm.
but whatever. What do I know? What
That
about you? What about you?
oh, I think it's harmful
Mhm.
because but I'm looking at it more so in the state of you don't ever give yourself a break because you just always feel like you have to go and you have to move on to the next project or you need to compete or you have to be this, you have to do that, you have to so I think it's harmful in the sense of like health wise. You cannot survive long term with with a hustle mentality. Like you just
But
you
what
c-
if you have a strategy?
if you have a strategy, then you're not are you necessarily hustling?
Yeah, you're still hustling.
Is it long
It's
term?
just a plan. I know in a year's time, this is where I'm supposed to be. I know in 3 years, in 5 years. But to get to those, I gotta that first year, that first 3 years, oh, it's grind mode. It's hustle mode. But this is how I'm gonna do it. That's what I was getting at.
So short term hustle culture is
Short
help.
term with no plan. It's the planning part.
Okay.
Like you're chasing after what that man or that woman got. So you
Yeah.
want to hustle because you've seen the glitz and the glam, but you don't have no plan.
Yeah.
You're just trying to do what they did to get to where they at because they got a lot of money and you just got to hustle.
Do
You
you
got to
think the
hustle, young
hustle
fella.
yeah,
No,
but
there's more to that.
I think the problem or the confusion or whatever the word I'm looking for is people don't necessarily think that there is planning and hustling. So I think that's why the hustle culture to
Oh, that's
me
dumb in itself.
is
There's definitely planning and hustling.
okay.
You
So
have to have an exit strategy. Now,
does
just
that
think about like
please?
even the Pablo Escobar has a fucking exit strategy. He just chooses not to because the money's too great. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you have to have an exit strategy
Yep.
because when does it end if you don't? That's when you talk about where you're at. Like
Yeah.
if you're just going go, then you're never gonna enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the
Part of the
hustle.
plan is for you to enjoy it.
Yeah. Um protecting your kids from struggle or preparing them for reality.
Prepare 'em for reality. The fuck? I might not be here, so I got to give you everything that I possibly could get. Give it to you right now.
So you don't think that you are protecting Caden from struggle with how his lifestyle is now?
That's not me protecting him. That he's just reaping the benefits of the work that I did. Preparing him for real world and understanding the knowledge part. Hey, this is how money works.
Yeah.
Hey, these are set in place for you like this. The life insurance is going to pay into the trust. I'm not paying you my life insurance. You want money out of that life insurance? You got to go borrow it from yourself and then pay yourself back.
Pay yourself back. Okay. Because I do think a lot of our generation focus on my children will not struggle the way I struggled. So I don't think they even think about setting them up for reality. I think they sit back and, well, not sit back, but their priority is to protect from the struggle because of how damaging the struggle was for them.
Yeah, but just think about the damage that you're doing if you're not preparing them for what's really going to happen. I'm a component, I'm not going to shelter a child. I'm
Yeah.
going to tell you what it is. This is the same reasons why we make sure that he does volunteer stuff
Yeah.
because this is what it's like.
Yeah.
This is what the everyday person goes through. This is what the everyday kid goes through.
Yeah.
You have your little bubble that you're in or whatever. That's off of the backs of your parents.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like Will Smith said, "We rich. You not rich,
You
nigga.
got
We got money. You ain't got no money."
we worked for this money.
No, so I'm,
Um,
I'm gonna prepare you for reality. I'm not. I don't need to shelter you from struggle. What struggle? What struggle these suburb kids got? Let me not say it. They got different struggles.
yes.
Their struggles are going to be different from what we went through because we don't know what it was like to be suburb kids. So
Yeah.
maybe they'll get a different set of struggles.
Because
I
you don't
don't
know what it
fucking
was
know.
like to be suburb kids with hardcore gangster parents. Um, what do you think's harder, breaking emotional cycles or financial cycles?
For us or in general?
Let's do both. Go in general first.
In general, it's probably harder to break financial cycles. For us, it's probably harder to break emotional cycles.
Okay.
Just think about it. It's not to be braggadocious or whatever the case may be, but we're selling on a couple million. We have life insurance policies. We
Yeah.
have homes valued at this. There's trust funds set in place. So like you have documents where your kids cannot sell their property.
Yeah.
So there's no financial burdens that's coming their way. They're set.
Yeah.
The emotional part, yeah, you beating the fuck out of them every 2 seconds.
It's not every 2 seconds. Well, Ramses didn't get a whooping today. Oh, I mean, I flicked his ear, but that's a different story because he was asking for it. Oh,
No, he didn't ask for it. He didn't turn around and say, "Mama, can you flick my ear,
he did.
please?"
He screamed. I told you he screamed one more time. So I was gonna take care of you. Um, Here's a good one. Do you think that generational wealth is possible without healing?
Is generational w- wealth possible without healing? I'm reading the definition, like true to life definition, and I'm like, nothing about this screams.
Broken?
I mean that it does tie back into the health component of it that I talked about earlier.
Mhm.
Mentally, if you're not prepared for the situations that you're going into or have inherited because of whatever trauma bases that you're bringing in, you can destroy your generational wealth. So yes, that's the question. What was it? Is
I
it
think your answer
possible?
is no.
No, it's not. Wait, say the
I think
question again.
is generational wealth possible without healing?
No.
Based on what you just said, the answer is no.
Yes. No.
Okay. I agree
You
with you.
need you need to be healed in order to gain the knowledge that you need and not
Oh,
destroy
the
what was
state.
built.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. It's
Re
not so rapid today. I really
Run
got to
that
think it
back.
through.
Run that back one more time. Run that back. What is one habit you had to unlearn to build stability?
um, One habit that I had to unlearn is the knowledge of the financial literacy part.
Mhm.
I can't go through life just knowing work hard, save your money, get your piece of property, and you're good. Just wait for retirement. No. Remember, my fuck you number's 55. There's no way I'm waiting for these people to give me pennies on the dollars for all the shit that I've been doing. That money is gonna be like play money. It's
Yeah.
my golf money. It's casino money. I don't need it. I
Yeah.
don't want it. If
Yeah.
I get it, cool. But those that are relying on it, no, I have too much financial literacy. I have all the tools and knowledge that I need at my fingertips. And I put myself around people that understand the financial literacy. So the things that I don't know, I'm asking, yo, Ashley, yo, you're a millionaire already. You're my age. How did you do that?
Mhm.
How are you investing your money? Where are you putting this? Is it all in property? Oh, diversify. Cool. We got to get art. We got to get in spirits. We got to invest. We got to high yielding, compounding interest, blah, blah, blah. So, like, yeah.
I'll say for me, I've had to unlearn to blind trust.
as she signs papers without asking questions.
Because I think we just grew up in a culture that's like, oh, that's my people's. Oh, they got me. Or, oh, I'll learn about it later. Like I walked around with ignorance as bliss. Like we all know ignorance is bliss. There's a lot of things, even in my big old age of 39, that I do not know. And I'm not embarrassed to. I think I might be one of the only people I know in my circle who'll be like, y'all know I don't be knowing. I speak on my ignorance. When I don't know, I say I don't know. I don't know about stocks. I don't know about you gonna scream now. If you think how you be playing with my anxiety is bad, I'm about to kill your anxiety. You wanna know how I pick my is it
Nope. I don't
401k?
even want to hear it. I don't even want to hear it.
You know the circle? The circle? What's the
Oh my
thing?
God.
What are those? What are
The
those things?
graphs, the pie
Yes.
graphs.
You wanna know how I pick whatever my funding or 401k is? I just pick whatever color circle looks pretty that day, aggressive or something. I don't I don't know. Like we tie
Well,
it back to
anybody. I'm not gonna sit here and try to act like I know neither. I take the information based off of the stuff that I gathered. Right when
yeah.
you hear to, I have a fear of missing out on the next big thing. Right when
Uh,
Bitcoin was a thing, when it was like easy to get into it, I thought it was a scam by black people. Like, why y'all all trying to get me to put money into this thing? I thought it was one of those travel with me Ponzi scheme type stuff. Never got in, and now I just look at the price of Bitcoin. I'm like, God fucking damn,
there
did
was
I miss
another
out?
one too. There was something else that was super cheap at one point. I think it was like maybe $15. And and you know what? We're gonna add that's something that we need to unlearn. We need to stop. Oh my God, we talked about this last week. No, not last week. Actually, this week's episode, we're talking about trust. We don't trust. We don't trust. We are
I don't
so
trust nobody.
scared. We are so scared of getting scammed, fraud, played that we're not investing our money into situations that can actually help build our generational wealth or just build us or have us be at the level where we could be comfortable, where our counterparts be like, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and just put this money in here right now. It's a new stock that just came out.
For me, because of my FOMO of missing out on Bitcoin, um, even like with Nvidia, like I need to up my money inside Nvidia.
I don't
You know what
even.
I mean? People kept talking about it, talking about it, talking about it. I'm like, is it really gonna take off? Is it really gonna take off? So now I have $1,000 rule.
Hmm.
I could lose $1,000 at the casino, so I could put $1,000 in investment because
Yeah,
I could make $1,000,
yeah,
just like you know what I mean. So like it's not gonna make or break me,
yeah,
right? I think people out there, how you combat these situations on where you're not be like, damn, I missed out on this. $100. Find out what your number is.
yeah,
For me, it's $1,000.
yeah,
I could afford to lose $1,000. So therefore, if I see, hey, Nvidia's about to take off, blah blah blah. All right, cool. I'm put $1,000 in there.
yeah,
If it disappears, fine, whatever. No skin off my back.
yeah.
If it makes me money, great. All right. Now that it's making money, it's still low. I'm gonna put another $1,000 in there.
So is it a
That's
thousand
that's my rule of thumb. That's my number currently. And yeah,
current
it's still $1,000. I don't.
currently?
Huh?
I want to be like you when I grow up.
Nah, chill out. Cause you look at it like there's stuff like I have money inside Amazon, Google, and all this other stuff, right?
Yes.
So like for me, when the next thing's coming in, oh, just shift it out of these accounts because
Yeah,
these are like sit and wait accounts. So I could put it in there, go aggressive real quick. Once I make my money back, put it back into the sit and wait accounts.
yeah, yeah,
You know, yeah, I can't find out what your number is.
yeah.
And that's what it is. Whatever it is, you could comfortably sit. This is not Kevin telling you go put $1,000 in the stock market. Rooster Reality is not endorsing this.
I know.
Kevin
Don't
is
call her.
saying, don't go and be like, well, Kevin said this is how I'm gonna build generational
Kevin
wealth.
said
No, 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 no.
vitiligo is the way to go.
No, 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 no. There's you have to know what you're comfortable with. When
Yes.
it comes to prime example, when I go to the casino, whatever I walked in with, I already told myself that's not mine. So I'm not gonna be stressed out. Like when you see people with their hands in their van and they stressed out, they're cussing and all that. That's because they're trying to flip money. They
I'm
playing with
telling
their
you.
mortgage money or whatever the case may be.
Oof.
If I walk in there 2,000, 3,000, 1,000, that's not my money no more.
Yeah.
If they bless me to allow me to walk out with my money again, then that's cool. But
Merci.
once you cross that threshold, that is the casino's money.
Once you cross that threshold, en tout cas.
But voyons, you came at your own fruition. You know what I mean? So like, and that's how I think people need to look at it, right?
Yeah.
Um, if you're a sneakerhead, you don't need every release that month.
Mm.
So do 3, and that one, take that Jordan money and go put it into something.
Yeah.
Like get you a life insurance policy.
Yeah.
Put that life insurance policy inside of a trust where in your demise, you're not getting taxed the fuck out of that capital gains and all that shit for your kids to go pay. Let it go into the trust, tax free. Your child could then now go in there and borrow against it, paying back themselves.
Yeah.
The knowledge is out there, people. You just got to ask the right questions. Put
Yeah.
yourself around people that are doing more than what you're doing.
Yeah. That's
I try to find the most richest people that I can see, and I watch, and like you was talking about earlier, you admit that you don't know. Me, I ask questions. You're gonna say some shit. Excuse me. So everybody in here knew what the fuck that meant. I didn't.
Can you please say that in layman terms for me, please?
And spell it, please, because I'm not a good speller. Spell it
That
so that when I
I
type
need
it
to go
into the
back.
Google, I'm finding the right shit. Okay, please.
I will say this and then we'll wrap up. You have taught me a lot of the savings and like business moves that I have been making in regards to like Ramsey's being an employer of our LLC, especially with our book. The fact that he's getting paid because guess what? Every time we have an event for his book, you work it. I will roll up to an event and people be like, "Oh, if I'm 5 minutes, I had to get my employer dressed. Like, I just, like my employee needed to get dressed. Like this is I'm not here. This is his check. His LLC has an account. He gets paid for it. He gets his W-2. Like you
Here's another thing I'm gonna throw your way and verify it with attorneys. Obviously, you titled the book Ramsey's Learn.
Mhm.
That's his name.
Mhm.
Sign him to a licensing deal and pay him off of his name.
Mm.
Every book that comes out that puts his name on it, that's a new licensing deal.
Okay. We'll
So
try that.
now he's not just an employee, he's actually lending you his name. You have to pay him for it.
Okay. I don't know if I'm gonna be paying my child all that, so I might have to go back to the Haitian roots and
Listen,
give me
you
school.
each parent is capped at $6,500 a year.
Oh, okay.
I think it went up. I
Oh.
think it's like almost 7,000 now that you could put in custodial accounts.
Oh, I gotta go
And
see.
each parent, each auntie, each this person could do it. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for sitting with us. Again, generational wealth is not just a buzzword. It's not only about money, it's about the literacy, it's about access, it's about knowledge. Kevin gave us the whole definition that you can find. However, what we focused on today was the knowledge part and what the lack of knowledge can do. We saw me. I thought my down payment was supposed to come from the bank, and I gave Kevin about 12 heart attacks that
I
day.
almost crashed that damn car that day.
So generational wealth, it is a long-term game. It's not about finishing, first. It's not about, getting to the end game. It's about being able to move forward in the game of life. And we have to keep in mind something that we're doing. We're first. We're breaking cycles. We're breaking curse. We're doing all of that. And being the first is a very powerful, heavy weight to carry. So it's important that, we take care of ourselves and we use the tools, access the tools, be like Kevin and ask questions. Don't be like Shu and just assume. Assume whoever you're working with is going to take care of you. Kevin, do you have anything else you want to add?
Going back to yourself, give yourself that grace also.
Yeah.
Like Shu said, you're the first. Anybody who's the first gonna take all the bow and arrows,
Yes.
the rocks being thrown at them,
Yeah.
people doubting them, coming for them, failing along the way. I could give you all the tidbits that I'm either doing or planning to be doing, but at the same time, you have to go and apply it, right? You have to stay curious. You have to move with intention in anything that you're doing. It ain't gonna be easy. And it might not be $1,000. It might be only $25 that you can do.
Yeah.
Who cares? Start, right? That's what I got. If this conversation made you pause, reflect, or rethink what generational wealth really means, go ahead and hit that subscribe and follow button to Roots to Realities. Don't forget to turn on the bell so you can get alerted when we drop our new content every Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. Go ahead and drop a comment. Follow us on social media, Roots to Reality on all social platforms, and share this episode with someone who understands the roots and the realities of life. We definitely want to hear from you.
Yes.
What does generational wealth mean to your family?
Mm.
What's one habit, belief, or pattern you're intentionally trying to change?
Mm.
Go ahead and send us a DM. Leave us a voice note. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Your story might shape a future episode.
Hey.
Till then, it's your boy Kevin B. the Brand.
And it's your girl, Shu the Vibe Enhancer.
Till next time, stay rooted, stay real. Peace.